continue to get bits and pieces here of Genesis. We're in chapters 41 and chapter 42 today, tomorrow, today and tomorrow, kind of a big crux of the story of Joseph. Remember, Joseph is one of the 12 sons of Jacob, and Joseph was the favorite, one of the favorite of the sons, and the jealousy came about upon the other 10 brothers, and they wanted to kill him. They set out to kill him, and Reuben was like, we shouldn't kill him. Let's send him out in slavery instead. So at that point, Joseph gets sent out through numerous things. He ultimately becomes like second in command to Pharaoh in Egypt. A famine has just struck, and now the 10 brothers are now coming and they are encountering Joseph. Okay? The part here, just for us, I think, to emphasize is, as they're talking and Joseph is concealing his identity to the 10, he wants to test his brothers. And so he says, but you must come back to me with your youngest brother. Who's the youngest brother? Benjamin. Why is Benjamin significant? Because Benjamin and Joseph himself are the two sons of Jacob and Rachel. And Rachel was the woman that Jacob really loved. If you remember, Jacob had a trick played on him, and that's another whole story and homily. So as soon as he says, go back and get Benjamin, notice right away they thought about it, and then they're like, we saw the anguish of his heart when he pleaded with us. What are they thinking about? Whose anguish? Joseph's anguish when he was in the pit, and he's probably looking up at his brothers like, why are you doing this to me? The look on Joseph's face as he gets sold into slavery. So the mind is going back to that mistake that they made out of the spot of jealousy. We saw the anguish of his heart when he pleaded with us. Their mind is going back. Okay, Benjamin. Joseph's asking, or they don't know it's Joseph. They're asking for Benjamin. Oh yeah, remember what we did with the other favorite? Yet we paid no heed to him. We paid no heed to the look on his face as he pleaded with us and say, hey, get me out of this pit. Don't sell me into slavery. That this is why the anguish now has come upon us, they're saying. Now comes the reckoning for his blood. So it's like, oh, here it comes up. There it is again. There's that moment. There's maybe that situation, the trial, the mistake that was never fully addressed, that we kind of just wanted to push under the rug. We've deceived, we've lied to our Father. We just kind of wanted to get rid of it so that it could take away maybe even the pain of the jealousy. Let's just get rid of it and push it under the rug. But here it comes up. Now comes the reckoning for his blood. It was never fully addressed. I mean, is it not the case, like, we have a tendency with the difficulties, with trials, with even mistakes that we made? It's like, let's just get rid of it. Let's just put it over here. Let's put it under the rug. And here it comes up again, the day of reckoning. I forget what context it was, but Sister Miriam James, who came here, she's the speaker. She was here for the Healing the Whole Person conference that we had here a couple Novembers ago. And at one point, I think she was quoting someone else, but she says, again, I don't even remember the context that she said this in, but she says, no one ever gets away with anything. That's true. No one ever gets away with anything. It's like, oh, this insignificant thing, sin over here, or act of injustice. No one ever gets away with anything. the day of reckoning will come in one way or another. And here it comes up for them. And even maybe in little ways in our lives, it's like, let us pay attention and heed them when it's really ultimately a moment of grace. When that day of reckoning comes, see it as a moment of grace. And what we'll see play out here is this beautiful act of mercy. Joseph, unbelievable act of mercy, which will come out here tomorrow. And we'll skip a lot of stories if you want to read on your own, chapters 43, 44, and I think tomorrow will be in 45 to see kind of the other things and other tests that Joseph does for his brothers to see, hey, have they really changed? Are they really going to treat Benjamin the way they treated me? Or are they going to see Benjamin as one of their own, one of their brothers, which they didn't treat me as one of their brothers? Are they going to see Benjamin now, who's back at home with Jacob? Are they going to treat him the same way they treated me? And Joseph gives a number of different tests to see what it will be. And Joseph both, ultimately what we see is both of their hearts comes to the spot of mercy and forgiveness that's led up by Joseph. And so maybe just for us of like when those, there it comes up again. There it comes up. Day of reckoning. Like to see it as a graced moment. It's like, what are those things that maybe I just keep pushing here? Relationships, oftentimes avoiding and ignoring problems leads to unresolved issues that resurface later with oftentimes greater intensity. But they're moments of grace. They're moments of grace when they come. And so let us bring our hearts to bring maybe these situations. There's a spider right there crawling up the microphone as we come here before the Lord and receive him and be nourished with him. And to look to Joseph of his unbelievable mercy and the way the Lord uses him as this pillar to kind of change the tide, change the course, and to change hearts.